The ways that we will be doing that is for those 15 years, if you look at our C license, our B license, which we call introductory and level 1 and level 2, which will also going to change. We spent something like 700,000 to make a level 1 coaching course for them to train or to upgrade 30 people. That is going to change in the country in that if you have 30 new coaches in Snawan, who will go and coach the 30 coaches, and these people will be going back home and coming back the following day. We will never have the system where coaches will stay in a hotel for 20 days. 80% of our money was going through the accommodation. But we have seen that with the budget that we have for one course, we will be able to have about 9 courses in the country. This is one mechanism that is going to be used to make sure that we double the numbers in making sure that we take as many coaches as possible. Okay. A country without technicians of football cannot be rated as one of the best in the country. And we are aware, and there were processes that we have been doing in the country. Secondly, it is also important that our coach education is aligned to that of CAF, to that of UEFA, to that of FIFA. And as from July, that alignment shall have been achieved in that a lot of our coaches, or few of our coaches, those who have money, will go overseas for a UEFA license that he can actually do at home here. Hence the alignment that we're talking about. The second pillar that we talked about is that of talent identification. Already we had set structures to say that we will be having provincial academies in the country, 9 provincial academies, and on top of that we're going to have a national academy. The School of Excellence has been identifying players, and the process of identifying the players and making sure that we develop proper talent from the School of Excellence had a lot of loopholes. And we are making sure with this system that we have in the academies to say every single talent that we have in this country must be captured, must be somewhere in our structures, because we are also going to have satellite academies in the regions and the LFAs, and we are also going to have schools that we are going to be called the centers of excellence that we will be identifying to make sure that when you have your provincial colors, it is the time for you and easy for you to play, to wear the national colors. It's going to be a system that will make sure that we have the best talent, and our best coaches will make sure that they man those centers to produce the talent. If in this country we are still struggling to get under 17 players, under 20 players, it will be a thing of the past with the system that we are going to be introducing. The talent will be within our academies. If we have to get any players, we want to make sure that the academy structure produces 80% of our players that we will be using for the national team. The other 20% will obviously be coming from the clubs. The crucial thing in the country that we have always been talking about is age cheating. And if you not really look at age cheating, you look what the problem that causes age cheating is. There is lack of competitions for our boys. He knows that if I cannot play in the under 17, there is no any other tournament in the under 16, there is nothing in the under 17, there is nothing in the under 18. As a result of that, a boy will cheat to be accommodated in one of the age groups. So going forward, we are going to make sure that for every age group, there is going to be a competition. Obviously, we have to link very slowly with the schools, that's one. And obviously, we are also going to make processes for clubs to register. As clubs, to have a license as a club, you need to have developmental teams. That is the route that we will be taking in the country. When all those things have been put in place, that is the only time that we can talk about the philosophy, because we will know that we have our players in centers where we can actually grow them in a specific philosophy, a way of doing things. I think there will be a lot of questions on philosophy. What is philosophy? What is the style of play? But what we will be doing in the academy is profiling the position of every single player. If you talk about the right back of South Africa, you must know that this is a player who's got these qualities. This is the player who can do certain specific things. So in each and every academy in the country, they will know that when you are talking about a right back, this is the type of player that you are talking about. The profiling of each and every position, so that when we develop players, we know what type of players we're developing. Hence the philosophy of the country, or the style of play that we would like to do. And one of the other areas that we have not really been doing, you see, if we could use the resources that we have in this country, we could be miles ahead. If you look at technology that is being used in rugby, technology is used in cricket, technology that exists in our in the army, the HPCs that also exist in the army. If we were to use all these resources that we have in the HPCs from the universities, I can tell you that we could be ahead. But we have not been using these structures. But now today we are linking up with universities to say, we will be doing research of football. See, primarily what we have been doing, we look in books, and the book tells you that 13 to 14, this is what you do. We took a book from somebody who wrote this in England. But is it appropriate to our kids in the country in relation to the facilities that you have? We have townships, maybe they have grass there, that's why they developed what they have developed, and we do not have that. So it is important as a country that we also go the route of research to make sure that whatever we say we are doing is as a result, we are informed by a research that we will be doing with the universities. We have already very strong ties with University of Johannesburg, University of Stellenbosch, the HPC in Pretoria, just to mention a few. So there's going to be very strong links that we will be making. And as far as technology is concerned, the CEO has indicated now we have hired Amisco on a full-time basis. We will be having people from Amisco who are staying in the office here. If you were to ask today how many players are there in South Africa, you're not sure. You're just thinking about the LFAs, you have about 317 LFAs, and you just say from each and every LFA, there's a possibility of 16 times 3 teams that are playing there, and then you say, you multiply, you get something like 15,000, but you do not have the database of the players that we have in the country. That will be a thing of the past. Eric will be working very hard, that's the gentleman at the back, to make sure that the data of all the players in the coaches are captured. 3 weeks back, I was invited to the PSL Symposium to make a presentation. And I talked about the numbers of the coaches that we have, and they say, we didn't know that you have so many coaches in the country. That will also be captured in our system to say, this is the coach at this level. So we will know exactly, if somebody is looking for a coach, they will know exactly where the coach is, at what level he is, what he is doing. So most of the things that the CEO has spoken about, I've tried to touch and maybe a little bit into what he has said. But it will be up to you to try and understand in our question and answers. This vehicle has been moving, and we made sure that we need the power of the collective wisdom. That's what we were looking with in the symposium that we had. This should not be the program of Serame and a few people around here. It should be a program for the whole country where all the stakeholders are involved.